Hey loves, welcome to my channel. My name is Jean Lawrence and I am a relationship and sex coach. I'm always active every day of the week, and today we'll be talking about something weird. Something really weird. But let me start by asking you, what's your flavor of sex? What's your favorite flavor of sex? By that I mean, are you more chocolatey or vanilla? Kind of. Because I'm all about bringing something new every now and then to the bedroom. So listen, if you're looking for something new to try in the bedroom, maybe I could just suggest you do what I call angry sex. All right. I know it sounds weird, but hear me out first before you judge me. Angry sex, which is also known as hate strafing, is something that every bad girl should experience at least once in her lifetime. I'm sure in your mind you're like, what the girl, what are you talking about? You're thinking to yourself, it doesn't make sense. It's not something to condone by society. Yes, blah, 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 blah. Listen, just hold up a second. Not so fast now, girl. Get me. Get what I'm trying to say. Look, we all come from nature, and nature loves to be chaotic and wild. For many people, it's their brain chemistry that makes angry sex so good. Now, according to research, right, hate sex, or for the purpose of, keeping the community guidelines safe here on YouTube, I would call it hate strafing. Hate strafing is quite similar to makeup sex in terms of brain chemistry. Both types of sex are fueled by intense emotions such as anger or sadness. Okay. So understand that when angry sex and makeup sex come together, the physical bond that you experience might help to reunite you and your man after an argument or after a fight. And that's just one benefit of angry strafing, because angry sex is often so rough, and the passion involved might even help you to reconnect if you've been struggling to do so lately. Okay. And that's why I encourage women to not hold out sex with their husbands after a fight. If he wants to straff, let him straff. Maybe that's his way of wanting to solve the problem. Now, the question is, why angry sex? Why am I recommending this? For some people, the concept of angry sex doesn't make sense. For them, the most desirable type of sex, and perhaps, even the only type of sex that they want, is the loving, slow, vanilla kind of sex. And, within the confines of a committed relationship, I can get that. There's certainly nothing wrong with love making like this. And it can also allow you and your man to connect on a deeper level. But let's not write off having angry sex just yet. It's just a few people who set out time to really have angry sex. It's just something that happens after a fight or a hard week at work, or at another time when stress and emotions are really running high in your relationship and you're just upset about something, and there's just something to be said about the person you get to be with when you're angry. You're in charge. You're selfish. And indeed, it's incredibly hard to feel that way, especially when you're making love. It's like playing another version of yourself in the bedroom, one that may not see the light of day then often. To me, I feel like it's exhilarating and perhaps even necessary to cause a rave or cause a spike in your sex life. Do you get what I mean? Do you typically understand what I'm trying to say? Right. So yeah, the way you have sex might change too when you have angry sex. Maybe you push your partner on the bed, threaten to whip him with his own belt, but not too hard. Please, not too hard. We're not trying to cause damage. You could even demand that he gets you off with his mouth, or else you would use your fingernails to create a mark on his body, or you could just bite him. I mean, it just makes sense that angry sex would accompany rougher style of sex. It's more or less like having, a BDSM kind of thing going on. Now, another thing that angry sex can do for you is that it can release adrenaline as you do things that are normally done between you and your partner on a normal day. And this kind of high is one that's safe for you to explore within the confines of your bedroom and without putting anyone in actual danger. Do you understand what I mean? So when you're hate strafing your man, you might find yourself becoming more animalistic. You might growl with pleasure. You might even find yourself groaning in pain. And hey, who's to judge? We don't judge. In fact, we welcome it. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. And your partner can even respond by screaming just to match up the energy. Afterwards, the two of you might be covered in sweat and you're both panting as you're trying to catch your breath. Believe me when I say that the relaxation and the relief that sets in after angry sex might be exactly what you need to resolve your argument. And it's a great workout. Plus, you can save the money that you might have spent on a massage to get that tension off your chest or your shoulders. I mean, angry sex just does it, especially if you and your man are in the middle of a fight, but you can't help but still feel attracted to each other. You're arguing, but yet both of you are pretty much turned on by each other. It's weird, I know. I know, but it happens. It's all about your pleasure if the two of you can use those angry feelings as a motivation to have sex. Not everyone can, of course, but it just levels the ground a little bit for both of you to meet in the middle and compromise for one another. It's more or less like creating a soft landing in your relationship. So if your boss has been riding on your nerves at work all day, or there is no room for you to have an opinion or make a mistake, or maybe you're just sick and tired of his sexist attitude, or let's say your kids are driving you nuts, or you're dealing with stress about hosting families and friends during a holiday, you could just honestly really use a massage, but who has that time for that? Angry sex will come to the rescue. So if you ask me, I would say that angry sex is also a way for some people to get closure. Say your man got you pretty much upset so bad, you've got the power to punish him, but you want to enjoy him still in the bedroom. Just one more time. Why not just hate straff him before sending him off to work or wherever? Or maybe you could just edge him and leave him with blue balls. Do you see that I am making sense about this whole concept of angry sex? So if angry sex sounds good to you, but you're not sure how to go about it, well, I have got some ideas you could try. Now, you could try acting feisty so that your man could spank you, or you could turn the situation around and spank him when you're having angry sex. You might be surprised how much fun this could turn out to be, sort of playful. Then you could use dirty talk to your advantage, especially derogatory terms like slut or the B word if it turns you on. But you need to be careful not to be too mean and avoid saying things that you can't take back, okay? And you could also pull your man's hair, or you could scratch his skin and bite him. Listen, angry sex is the perfect time to leave a love bite on them. Give him a hickey. Do you get what I mean? Just give him a hickey. Yeah. And then also try considering adding role play into your angry straffing mood. I mean, like you could be acting as though he is forcing you or something like that. Like you're struggling and he pins you down. It's just pretty much hot. All right. It could give a hot vibe. But then use safe words. It's very important that you use safe words if you're feeling some type of way. And you could also force him down. You could pin your man down and do whatever you need to do to him. Then encourage your man to tie you up, or you could tie him up if you prefer. You could also rip your partner's clothes literally. Like just maybe you wear clothing that would easily tear or easily rip, and you don't mind ruining in preparation for this kind of sex. You can incorporate wearing a blindfold or a mask, whichever way. Just let your emotions go. Feel free to even cry because you're mad at him. Crying like orgasm is a great way to get a release. So make sure that you're following the same safety guidelines. Perhaps even, choose a safe word if you become too angry at some point in time based on some of the things that he's saying, or based on how forceful or whatever he's doing to you and you're not feeling cool about it. You could use safe words, okay? And also don't forget to check in on your man to see how he feels about angry sex before you try any of these things. It's just a good idea to check on your partner, to check on their feelings so that you don't overstep boundaries again and make matters worse. But if he's in it for loving tenderness, then trying to hate straff might just be a bad idea. And he might not just realize that you're looking for passion and release. Eventually he gets hurt. So yeah, you need to check up on your partner. So are there risks in having this type of sex? Now, even though angry sex can be quite hot, it's really important that it's not the only type of sex that you have with your man. Just like you don't always want to have makeup sex. If you're simply having sex as a way to avoid the issues in your relationship, it's only going to become compounded. All right. And this is especially true if you use hate sex as a form of punishment. Now, sex should never be used as a bargaining chip or a way to punish anyone in a relationship, because you might actually get to a point where you quickly confuse playful, angry sex with actual anger. And if you're always angry, there's a good chance that there are issues in your relationship that you aren't resolving for whatever reason. So you might find it difficult to make love or have sweeter types of sex if you're always having angry sex. And if you resort to angry sex because you prefer to have kinkier, rougher sex, just know that you don't have to. Because rough sex, even the kind that involves sadism and erotic degradation, it doesn't need to be fueled by anger. Instead, you and your partner can step into that powerful role through role play and not need to worry about damage to your relationship due to angry sex. Of course, there is no reason to worry about these things when the person that you're hate straffing is someone whom you actually don't like or you don't want to have a relationship with. But why straff someone that you don't like in the first place? How do people even sleep with people they don't like? Help me make sense of it, because I don't understand. Even if it seems angry sex might be the perfect way to end a terrible relationship on a high note, you need to realize that the right flavor of sex is with someone who is incredibly attractive to you. And then again, you also do not want to internalize the anger. Hate sex is fun sometimes, but it's unhealthy if that's the only type of sex that you have. Because I believe that you're worthy of emotionally intimate sex. So if your man only ever wants to touch you when he's angry, then the issue is him. If you and your man is having trouble becoming aroused without being angry, it might be time for you to consider talking to a professional because you need help. Hate sex isn't for everyone. You or your partner might just look to having sex as a way to connect, and you may not be able to separate emotions from sex, and that's okay too. Every once in a while, angry sex can release the tension, which may not even be related to your relationship. It's just great fun and just one of the several awesome types of sex that you could experience in your relationship. All right. So if you've had it before, or if you want to give it a try, let me know in the comment section, and that would be it. All right, then. I just said I should come talk about it. If you've ever done it before, let me know. If you haven't, let me know. Because I realized that, makeup sex is usually a lot sweeter than normal vanilla sex, I think. Anyways, thank you so much for taking out time to watch my channel. Until I come your way tomorrow, do have a swell time. Know that I love you. Don't you forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified. You don't want to miss a thing on this channel, okay? Until I come your way. Mwah.